Good morning, Rolf. Welcome. Can you hear me all right? Rolf?
So sorry about that.
No worries
I
at
just
all.
finished up my
Yay.
last call.
Lovely to be on the call with
Oh,
you.
I can't hear you though. Oh, I'm
You hear
muted.
me now?
Okay, yeah, hold on one second for me. Okay. Can you say something again?
Yeah. Welcome to
Oh,
the
perfect.
call. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect now.
Fantastic, Rolf. Well, it's been a real honor to be on the call with you. Thank you for taking this time to be with me. And did you get a chance to look at my short little video?
I did not. I didn't realize you sent me a video.
It was in Calendly when you booked the call, so it's a private.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I did not. I'm
No
sorry.
worries. It's just a little bit of an introduction, so I can give you that during this call. No worries. But the purpose of this call is for us to network and find out how we can help each other. So, why don't you start off and tell me your journey, why real estate, what got you turned in that direction, and your family situation, and what you would like for me to do to help you.
Okay. Well, Graham, thank you for that. And I do appreciate your time. I know everybody's time is valuable. I'll start off by saying I've probably been in real estate my whole life.
Okay.
My mother was in real estate law. My
Okay.
first job at 15 was at her firm. I actually hated real estate. I hated my
Oh,
first job.
okay.
uh,
Misunderstood.
but it, but it paid well.
Yeah.
It was my mom's firm, so she
Okay.
gave me a good salary.
That's
But at
nice.
18, I did decide to leave,
Okay.
and I joined the Marines.
Oh, wow. Thank you for serving, sir.
You're very
Yeah.
welcome.
Mm.
I came back, couldn't find anything that made me as much money as my mom was paying me. So I begged for my job back.
Okay.
Um, she actually didn't give me my job back. Instead, she helped me become a property appraiser, and then she
Oh,
would feed me deals for me to do appraise.
okay.
Um, but it got to the point where she was doing mostly commercial, and I wasn't a commercial appraiser. I was a real estate residential appraiser.
Okay.
So I ended up leaving that and doing something else. I became a plant broker, actually, for 15 years.
Okay.
I would go on to sell annuals and perennials and ground covers and succulents and shrubs and all kinds of
Okay.
plants
All right.
for about 15 years and very successfully, I might add.
Okay.
I was selling about $6 million a year in plants
Oh,
at the time
very
when
good.
I left.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were the ninth biggest importer at the time.
Wow.
But COVID happened, right? And
Yeah.
importing plants stopped.
Mm.
Stopped for 2 months before I said, I can't, like that was my bread and butter. I had to reinvent myself. I actually gave up the W-2 at that point.
Okay.
I started another business. It was a yacht and jet ski rental business in Miami.
Okay.
At the time, that was pretty much the only thing that you were able to do was go in the water.
Mm.
So it was at that time was where I met the owners for Suncrest Capital Group,
Okay.
and we just pretty much meshed well. He's about 5 years older than me, smart man, been in real estate his whole life,
Okay.
but stayed in real estate his whole life.
Okay. He has a passion for it then, right?
He truly does. He truly does. So he offered me a position as a hard money lender,
Okay.
as a loan originator. So I did that for 2 years before he offered me the position to run the private money division for Suncrest Capital Group.
Okay.
So I've been doing that since January,
All right.
and it's been a ride ever since.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Just to give you a little bit of background about Suncrest Capital Group, one of our loan originators is in the top 1% of the country
Oh, very
um,
good.
in his space, which is single family and multifamily 1 to 4 units,
Okay.
non-owner occupied dwellings, which is the fix and flip space.
Yeah.
So because of him, we get 35 plus deals a month.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and most of our deals we're seeking PMLs for. And
Okay.
I'll tell you how that works. We'll give a term sheet and it'll We do the financing for the purchase and rehab 100%. We do it where there's no monthly payment. And if there's enough meat on the deal, we'll include that down payment, closing cost, insurance, and the fees in a PML at 20% flat.
Oh,
Now,
very good.
there's about a handful of us in the country who do that.
Right, right.
And man, like I said, with that kind of financing, you would think that we would be sponsoring the deal and collecting 50% equity when we're not. We're only asking for our interest to be paid. Now, mind you, we're not the cheapest guys, you
No,
know, by far, but we're offering a far superior product on financing than anybody out there.
yeah.
And the way we wrap up that closing cost, insurance, and fees in a PML for them is we do everything in house. We're doing the underwriting, we're doing feasibility studies on every loan. Are you familiar with a feasibility study?
Not too much.
Well,
It
if you
might
don't
be a
mind, I'd
different
love to
word
tell
for
you
what
about
to
it.
know, but yeah, tell me about that. Yeah.
So basically, during the time of the appraisal, we order this feasibility study, and what happens is a third-party licensed general contractor is reviewing the scope, the itemized scope of work, and making sure all the values are true. So, for
Okay.
instance, let's say they put $1,000 for a new roof. Now, Graham, you and I both know there's no way they're going to get a
Right.
new roof for a
Right,
thousand
right,
bucks.
right, right. Yeah, we call it due diligence. It's part of the underwriting process that we do. Yeah, yeah, we do that
Yeah.
with the large multifamilies as well, so
Yeah. So we're doing all that. We do that in-house appraisal where the appraiser actually goes and does the inspection, takes the photos. No desktop appraisals. It's a true no-doc loan, so we're doing our due diligence ahead of time before it even gets to me. By the time the file gets to me, it's already gone through like 80% of the underwriting process. We've already got the appraisal back. They've already verified their experience. Sometimes I have the title company information at that point, sometimes I don't.
mm,
But yeah, at that point, we go on and we, give all that information to the PML who's interested in funding that small portion of the loan.
I love it. Yeah, very, very good, very diligent and precise. That's fantastic. So, as you haven't seen the video, I'll give you a quick potted history. I've been in real estate for over 20 years. But I've had it in my blood. I say, if you look at my blood cells, they're house shaped, because as a kid, I played Monopoly all the time with ghost players, I just loved it, and loved that whole dynamic. So, and whenever I moved house in England, I had the eye for the deal. So when I came to America, I had the opportunity to chase the American dream. So
Mm.
my bride to be had already bought the course, cotton sheets, no money down. I don't know whether you remember that old dude, he was on infomercials every night, he's a leading guy. I tore into that course, within weeks, I bought my first property, creative financing, no money down, cash at closing to fix it up. Perfect deal, it was a cash cow. So I had a really good start, and then I went on to buy a 24 unit with a conventional loan, and that was not. I had hardly been in the country for 6 months, and found a bank that's willing to take a risk on me. I mean, I had no credit, right? UK, the American system doesn't recognize the UK credit system.
Mhm.
I had no net worth, but it was obviously a motivated bank with a motivated seller. So I did a good presentation. I'd done this business plan, and I must have seemed to know what talking about because they gave me a first position loan, and then the seller carried the second. So I only brought a little bit, tiny little bit of money to the table, got a 24 unit, which was another cash cow. And so I I can't even, when I'm thinking back, I'm thinking, how did I know to do what I did? Because I raised the rents like crazy. I actually doubled the rents within 12 months. So I then refinanced, got a chunk, a huge chunk out. It was 221,000 or something. I was able to use that to go on to use that's leveraging getting other units. So within a couple of years, I had over 100 doors in small multi-families. Um, some of them were very distressed, so I ended up in development as well. In 2006 had over $1 million credit line, fixing these up. But you've heard this before, right? I mean, I made every mistake, and I didn't keep a close enough eye on that, and copper got stolen after we were within weeks of finishing it, and I'd already spent all my money, and so the whole kit and caboodle collapsed because I'd used every leverage trick in the book. I lost it all, so I was bankrupt in 2009, and for 8 years I was licking my wounds, and still wanted to get in real estate. My wife died, trying to be as quick
Oh.
as possible. Wife died, um, and I rediscovered my passion for real estate again. I thought I'd play it safe. Got my license renewed because I was a licensed agent as well in the first time round. Got my license renewed. I thought I'd just do retail, play it safe. But that's not where my heart was at. It was in investing, and took numerous courses, kept looking for the niche that would be a fit, and trying to steer away from apartments, we've been on the battlefield with that one. So, and I wrote a little book, Cautionary Tales from Real Estate Investments. Goes into a little bit more details and about that and the mistakes I made. It's quite incredible. My path. I think I made every mistake in the book. You say, well, I certainly every mistake in this book that I wrote anyway. If you know what I mean. So came across Pace, of course, because I was really hard looking. Joined about 3 years ago. I came across Pace, and then 2 years ago joined a Gator. Are you in sub two or Gator or anything?
I'm not in sub two, but I am a Gator.
You're in Gator, okay, yeah. So I'm an elite Gator because I was one of the originals who joined, and they gave you an opportunity when they launched Elite Gator to join. So I joined Elite Gator, um, and been networking ever since. Um, Now last month, um, I found myself in the classroom again, a 3-day workshop on large multifamilies, and everything lit up, with what all been through, could see the mistakes I made, that it wasn't scalable. Some of the things weren't my fault, some of them were, in that sense. So large multifamilies made a whole lot more sense than the smaller ones, where you could scale better with large multifamilies. The barrier to entry is not what you think. Anybody can play this game in large multifamilies. And like all real estate strategies, you don't need money. You just need to find the people who do have it, because it's a team sport, right? Like
Mhm.
you're in that business of loaning it out, right? Those people, some of them are not putting any money in there, are they? 100%, you said, right? So,
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
But because it's a good deal, and that's what we find. We find good deals, large multifamilies. I'm building a community right now because I did do networking before, but I could never do the follow up very well. We'd have meet for the first time and then I'd forget you, right? I mean, because we're not in daily activity. So I've created a YouTube channel to create that community. So I would encourage you to join that because
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
yeah, let me bring it up and put it in for you. And then if you subscribe, it keeps you front of mind, as it were. You can like them. I'm doing an educational part, and when I do find a deal, I just put it in the chat. I would invite you along to a Zoom where we do the offering memorandum. You could help with the become a limited partner if you want. Get paid quarterly distributions, and have a share in the equity at the end of the deal. So, and it's a passive role, so you could continue doing what you're doing on a daily basis, because obviously these deals, I probably will do one or maybe two a year at the most. So don't hold your breath, you know? They're not easy to find these deals, but when the opportunity comes along, if you can bring, maybe others with you, form an LLC and come in as a limited partner, you can build that residual income and wealth, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's very neat. I'm definitely going to check it out.
Hmm.
I thought about starting a YouTube channel myself.
Yeah,
Um, because it's just like it's so much easier to talk to people in a group setting versus individually.
it
And,
is.
and
Yeah.
kind of like you, I mean, my calendar gets booked up. I booked a schedule with you. You're you. I had to wait 2 days because
Yeah.
my calendar was just so full.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I had somebody miss a call today. Sorry, I had back-to-back calls and he has to book it next week, you know?
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
what it is. I mean,
yeah.
right now, I mean, right now as a hard money lender,
Mm,
having all these deals, we I'm just like I'm constantly presenting,
mm,
who we are, what we do, and how many deals we have to offer. And all of our
yeah,
deals are sweet. All of our
right, right.
deals we do all the underwriting that very well, and
Mm,
and we provide all the information. We do, like I said, feasibility studies, and we provide all that due diligence package to the lender in
mm,
advance. Like so that way all they
right,
have to do is
right.
vet my information,
Mm,
instead of having to go seek it out themselves.
right.
Um, and because we're
Understood,
so
Ralph. Yeah. So I now have told you my story and where my focus is, and you're a hard money and PML as well. Um,
Mhm.
are you able to help in that way, or would you help as an individual? Is Suncrest, is that, do you do large multifamilies or
So we stick to residential.
you do?
Uh, so we only do multifamily 1 to 4 units,
Okay.
and our max
Don't
loan
really count
amounts
that as multifamily. Yeah, it's not commercial, you see. Commercial multifamily, 5 units or more.
5 units or
And
more.
we're looking at 100 units or more, anywhere from 10 million all the way up to 100 million, with the
Yeah,
EMDs six-figure sums, you know. So
yeah.
um yeah. So
So
Suncross wouldn't be in that buy box, right?
no, our max loan amount is 1 million.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, Graham, I thought you were also a lender. I thought you were
I am.
interested in
I do
lending
do
in deals.
lending. I do. And now I'm also HML as well. Yeah, I can do HML too. I
Okay.
took a course with, I don't know whether you come across Lee Arnold. I did the broker course with him, but I've not. I've come close to doing some HMLs on those, but they haven't worked out. But I do PML as a
So
private
do you do
individual.
PML where you fund yourself, or do you seek out, or you work as a connector?
I can do both. It
Okay.
depends on how much and whether I've got all my own money deployed, as it were, And
I
I
fully
also look
understand.
at loss of opportunity if it's a six-figure sum. When it comes to PML and how long it's out there. So it really depends on the deal. What turns my light on, as it were, you know?
I totally get it.
Yeah.
Our terms are typically 4, 5, or 6 months.
Okay.
We never do anything over 6.
Right.
We always do 20% flat.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we really vet the deal. When that deal gets to me, we always make sure that the borrower has at least 20% equity in the
Mm,
deal,
right.
after everybody's paid off.
Mm,
We present it in a way where we give you that appraisal, like I said, with
yeah.
that feasibility
Right.
study,
So
market
let me
strength.
ask you this. I do get a lot of deals in my email every day, having been engaged a long time, and my main focus, as I say, is large multi-families, but I could certainly pass some of these. I can underwrite them myself, make sure they're a good deal, and then I could certainly pass those along to you if you were interested, and be the connector in that. Would that work?
Well, I work with connectors.
Yeah.
The only thing is that there's two things. Thing one is if you wanted to work as a connector for me, know that we give 20%, and unless you do 5+ PML deals a month, I wouldn't be open to giving you a connector fee.
Okay.
If you were a connector and you do 5+ PML deals a month and can prove it with a HUD, with
Yeah.
HUDs, or I mean with JV agreements, then I would be
Yeah.
open to like a five
Right.
percent fee,
Right.
you
Right.
know, at time of closing.
Yeah. That's
Um,
not my main focus, and that's a full-time job, what you just suggested. So five
yeah,
deals a month. So,
I'm
but how do you
primarily,
think I can help you then? How can I help you?
well, the what I would like is to present you some of my deals. And if you're interested in earning 20% flat rate of returns, I mean, that's the best I could do at the moment
Okay.
for a lot of my deals. And for instance, I got 6 deals on my desk right now, and
Yeah.
I'll have another 3 come Friday.
Mm. Okay. And you're looking for the funds.
I'm looking for the funds, which
Yeah.
is the down payment, closing cost, insurance, and fees. Like for instance, I'm gonna just go down the list. I got one for 46,540 that I need. I have another one for 82,800. I have another one for 30,700, 51,650, and 45,300.
Okay.
And then we give 20% on all those values.
Very
And at
good.
the present time, all of those are 6 months, unfortunately, but I do have 4 and 5 months as well.
Yeah, I prefer, yeah, the smaller amounts, 6 months. Yeah, but send those to me. I tell you what, because I work really hard at my job, so when I want to change from networking, I will do the underwriting. I like figures, you see, so I'll certainly look at those and if one lights up in my head, as it were, it turns green. I'll send the funds there. I'll wire the funds over.
Uh, On another note, I'm also interested in big multifamily.
Mm,
Um, One of my goals, I only got 4 doors at the moment, and I started in 2020.
mm.
Um, One of my goals is to have 100 unit apartment building.
Yeah, that'd be nice because with 100, and there's a reason why we have 100 is because it's scalable. You can have
Yeah.
a manager, you see, a property manager, professionally done, everything, and
I mean, I pay a
it's
property
hassle.
manager now,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
because I don't like dealing with the headache of
no,
yeah,
no.
I'd rather them
That
deal
that
with
was
it.
my biggest mistake. Every Tuesday I was in court and I hated court. I was always nervous in front of a judge, and I'm the one process. Bring the teller. I was the nervous one, and that doesn't go over well with the judge. It never does,
That's
and
too funny. That's
it
too
really
funny.
is. I hated it, managing him. And it's not like I didn't try. Um, it's all in the book, but you've probably heard this before. Okay, I tried various management companies and they steal money from you. It was obvious
Yeah.
because you're not big enough. You can't employ the reputable ones. You haven't got the cash flow. I was already bleeding from professional tenants working the system, as I say, throwing people out, because I was picking up apartments at the bottom of the market, the ones that needed fixing up, the studios, the one bedrooms, and you've heard all this before, right?
I got my guy's working on an eviction right now as we
Yeah,
speak.
right,
There's one of my studio apartments.
mm,
The guy hasn't paid in 2 months,
right.
and
Very
it's
typical.
like, all right, you're out 2 months.
Because they lose their job every 2 or 3 months, Or I had one tenant say, and it made always stuck in my mind. He said, "Don't you know it's Christmas? I can't pay my rent." Like that. Yeah, no, it's Christmas. I have to buy some presents. Well,
Wow.
yeah, I know. They have that air of entitlement. They think you owe it to them. That's the
I had a
mentality of these guys. Yeah.
I had a guy. I raised his rent. I mean, my properties are in Miami, Florida,
Yeah.
and the market in Miami, Florida is through the roof, right? So this unit is a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, beautiful apartment. I mean, beautiful. Um, I told the guy, I said, listen, his rent was at 2,000 a month. I
Mm,
said, listen, the rent's going up to 2,500.
mm.
He's like, what? I'm not paying 2,500. Now you gotta evict me. Good luck. I never forget that.
Yeah,
He was like, listen, if you want, I'll continue to pay you 2,000 a month, or else you'll lose 2 months worth of rent, and that's $5,000, and you weren't gonna make $5,000, $500 a month. Da 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 da. Like he broke it down to me, like trying to justify,
right.
like for me not to do it, and two to keep it at 2,000.
Mm.
I ended up evicting him,
Yeah,
nevertheless. But still, he fucked me,
yeah,
like, and he did it well,
yeah.
So
Wow.
I got those stories too, brother. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
all of us do,
Oh, yeah.
it's inevitable, bro. It's
Yeah,
inevitable.
and that's really why I like to go to the 100 unit or more. As I say, I was in the classroom and they showed me so much. It's not like I didn't know it, but I could see it clearly. The clear argument of the scalability when you get to the 100 units or more. You've
Hmm.
got the resources to bring in the best management, and have it well run, keeping up with everything in the apartments, keeping up with the maintenance, the value add, the building the community and reputation, the signage and everything else that you won't believe is important into making
It
it,
is. It is.
a nice place to live, quite frankly.
I,
Yeah.
I, I, I again am. First of all, I'm gonna go to your YouTube, and I'm gonna look at a couple of your videos.
Mm,
I'll subscribe. I'll subscribe.
thank you.
I like listening. If it's a podcast type format, listen, you got me on the drive home.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's moving in that direction. I'm doing a small educational thing as well. I will put your this video on there as well so people can listen to see who you are. And those in the community do listen and they learn from that. And so you never know
yeah.
what business will come from that as well. And
Let me tell you, I noticed that this community is amazing. First of all, I mean, our company did a huge Zoom with the Gators talking about HML.
okay.
And then every time I jump on a Zoom, my calendar gets flooded for 2, 3 days,
Yeah.
and it's my fault because I put my blink out there,
Yeah.
and
Me too.
and then
I
all
do
of
that
us,
every time.
and then I talk,
Yeah.
right, and then as
Yeah.
soon as I talk and I tell them about what I do, how I do it,
Mm,
um, Ralph, you have a great presentation. I
mm,
love all the paperwork you send.
mm,
I've never seen anyone send it the way you send it.
mm.
I, and that's the comments, and then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, here goes his blink.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking about Blink, let me dig my Blink out for you. Let's see.
I
Yeah.
got most of your information here. I wrote
Yeah.
it down because I didn't see the one thing I am missing is your email address. I would love your email address so I could email you. You're gonna
Yes.
put it there on your blink, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I think it's in the Blink card. So you'll have all my social media there on the Blink and everything else.
I see that. I see that. Let me get my blink out here. I still don't I still do it the old fashioned way.
Yeah.
I still do it the old fashioned way.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm really honored to be on the call with you today, Rolf. Thank you for spending the time with me. It's been
You and
wonderful
me
to get
both.
to know you. Yeah.
I feel the same way. I mean, honestly, you do have a wealth of knowledge that I enjoyed hearing. And let me tell you, and I mean this with all due respect, I love to talk to the old timers because
Mm.
they have that level of experience that a lot of people just don't have,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And you kind of got to give them their respect, their flowers, because they've been in this world longer than us. I'm only 40 years old,
Yeah.
41 really. But again, I
Interesting.
appreciate your knowledge,
Sure.
and knowing your failures is amazing because then you know how to overcome them.
Yeah.
And I'm a reader too. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy your book just yet,
No, it's only
but it all
26
depends on how
pages.
that YouTube video go.
Yeah.
And then maybe I read Pace's book, by the way.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. It was a quick read. 2
Yeah.
days. It
Yeah.
was a quick read, but it was actually pretty enlightening. And then I reached out to him and told him how I read his book, and he sent me a video message back.
Mm,
Actually, they invited me to get on his Get Creative podcast.
okay. Very
So
good.
I'll probably be on there pretty soon. I just haven't set a date with them.
Very good. Yeah.
We're noticing that we're already becoming leaders in the community as far as
Mm,
what we're offering and what we're able to do. I've
right.
probably done 10 or 12 first deals for a lot of gators.
That's good. Yes. Very good,
And we're doing
Ralph.
repeat deals too. So,
Yes. That's wonderful. That's what I do plan on writing another book, a more serious book. This is just my first attempt. It's only 26 pages. Plan
oh,
to write by the end of the year 150 pages on demystifying large multifamilies. So that's my plan. I've got it all outlined. I've just got to find some time, as it were, to get that done. You know?
that's kind of the problem with all of us, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Right.
I work like a slave, honestly.
Yeah.
My calendar, when my calendar gets like that,
Yeah.
I only allow my calendar to do up until 5 p.m. Eastern.
Mm,
And then, and then after that is when I get work done. And
right.
before that is when I get work done. So I'll be here till 7 p.m.
Yeah.
You know. Oh my God, Graham, listen,
Yeah.
I didn't realize the time. I do have a
No
12 o'clock
problems.
to
Me
get
too.
to. But listen, it was a
Yeah.
pleasure speaking with you.
Absolutely,
You'll see
Ralph.
me again.
Yes, absolutely. Don't hesitate to book a call if you would like another call. I'm doing follow-ups and things. And I really appreciate your comments as well on my YouTube. That helps me with ideas to produce another video and things. So I would really appreciate that. Thank you, Ralph.
No problem. And listen, if you ever want another guest to talk with you on your YouTube channel, I have no problem speaking. I do a lot of public speaking too
Let's
about
do that.
what we do.
Let's do
So
that. I'd
if you
love
want to do
that.
like an underwriting one, and I'll present a deal to you, and we could underwrite it together.
Let's do that. Let's do that. I'd love that. So
Okay.
let's
I'm gonna reach out to you that way too. Let
yes,
me be sure.
yes. Book a call for that. Book a double call, um, and then we'll record that, put it on. I do a background that puts your company name, Suncrest, and like I've got, because the whole video is gonna keep it in front of people's
No
faces.
problem. No
Yeah,
problem. I usually don't. I actually just moved offices, so I have like all my awards and stuff on the floor.
oh yeah,
I
okay,
haven't even put them up yet.
okay, all right, very good. Okay, well, thank
I
you.
just switched offices, so I'll have all my stuff up. I usually put like my pictures of my family
Mm,
and stuff so that people know I'm a family man too. And
yeah,
I go to
that's
church. I
good.
mean, I have
You do.
my
Me too.
rosary on and
Yeah,
stuff.
me too as well. So that's good to know. All right, Ralph.
So,
Well, been a real
Graham, again, it
pleasure.
was a pleasure speaking with you.
And
I'll
to
talk with
you.
you again soon.
Bye bye for now.